There you go. All right,
recording.
perfect. So, cameras.
Why he keeps focusing at me? Like,
He was trying to keep one of us in view. So let's bring it in a little bit, Alan. Again, we always like to at least kind of get through the history first before we spread out. Every location we go to is going to be operative a little bit different than the next one. This one in particular, I'm going to give you the history of the space, and then we're going to spread out. I'll do 1 or 2 round robins with this whole group and kind of seeing what's going on, take a bunch of notes, and re-bring us back here to show you how it all pieces together. Now with this location, starting here, all you communication device people, spirit boxes, Ouija board, and the word generator, this is where I start withholding information on purpose. I will not be giving you questions like what color was George Washington's white horse, like what we did over there with the big red barn.
White.
So that's your new baseline. Don't give me anything below that 2.9. We're gonna do that every single time while we're in one space. So 2.9 I'll be writing down in just a minute. So again, with those spirit boxes, I'll give you guys focus questions of what, I don't want to say is what's permissible, because you can come up with your own questions, but this place can be a little temperamental, and I'll explain why as we kind of go through it. So where are you? You're in a parking lot. Congratulations, you made it. So I take you to weird spots. This place used to be something. I want you to also take note that no other ghost tours are here because there's nothing to see. This is part of the reason why I love this space, and it's haunted as hell. Let's get into it. This place used to be the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion. The mansion sat in the front of the space facing East Bay Street, and Eliza's garden was lined up with 5 Church Restaurant just below our almost full moon coming all the way across, and we are standing in the servant and slave quarters for the home. That's the layout of the land. Who the hell were these people? Charles and Eliza had a son named Charles, they had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 Chucks, in case you weren't paying attention. That's why we look for the secondary clues. In the event that Kevin hears the name Charles, I need to know which one it is by coming out of one of the other 2 spirit boxes so I know how to address them. Hopefully you guys are really starting to see the point on this. Now, son and the nephew, signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. Big deal for South Carolina. I hate politics more than all of you combined. We're going to move on. If I don't give the gentleman that recognition, they will do it for me in a nasty manner coming out of a spirit box. I just make sure I give it to them, we move on. Talking about Eliza. Eliza married Charles at a young age according to today's standards. I say it slowly like that because if you're going to ask her how old she was when she got married, do not expect numbers from the colonial days when young ladies got married at the ages of 12 and 14. So, yeah, things did happen weirdly back then. Think of today's standards when young ladies get married because the husband was over double her age when they married. It's kind of the age got then, it's the age got now. Let's kind of put that out there. So, with that, she married him because her father was over in England. His dad was dying. Trying to bring all the children back home to England so he can see his kids one last time. Eliza didn't believe he was dying, so instead she stayed put right here and got married. Well, it's 1744. You don't get married in that year to earn a green card. You're not a country yet. So she did marry him out of love. There's nothing horrific about this location. It's a true love story and should be treated with respect once you realize who this woman actually was. Moving on, she was correct. Dad didn't die right away. Instead, he started sending her gifts from England to where you're standing. One of those gifts happens to be the plant seeds of indigo. That's a plant that makes blue dye, makes your blue jeans blue. I think almost everybody here is wearing some sort of denim tonight. That's what we use it for today. When she got her seeds, no idea what to do with it. She had to learn from her servants and slaves how to keep it going. It's not always hot here, you Ohioans. Believe it or not, you always think it's super hot down here year round, and it's not. Then she had to learn how to make the dye and move it to a cash crop. Got a hold of Dad and told him that the rice plantations were going downhill. They were going to make a killing with the indigo. And we now have an international businesswoman during colonial times. Indigo. So, indigo with a G, not a CA.
Just making sure.
So with that, let's get into the weird stuff because that's why you guys are here. I am going to assign you guys focus questions. You can either say these things out loud, just based on what type of spirit box or communicator that you have, or you can just focus on them. Keep in mind, we have all 3 cameras and at least 6 pieces of communication out here. So if Trinity's asking a question, Kevin might get the answer. We never know where it's going to go. That's the beauty of when we're doing this out here. Even if I have just 2 people, there's always 2 pieces of communication, so our ghost can go to either one of them. Here's how this is going to work out. I'm going to go, we'll go left to right. So Kevin, you're going to start off with Eliza's death. So 4 major things that we get answers to: how old she was when she died, how she died, where she's buried, which president was a pallbearer at her funeral. So yeah, very pristine lady here. The 2 of your devices, it's kind of ironic that they both went to you because they're going to be working together. So with that, you're going to be looking for Eliza's full initials. So her initials are ELP. No anagram. I want them in that order. Hopefully they show up that way. Because, Shelly, you're going to be asking what the L stands for. Here's why. That's her maiden name. It starts with an L. But the Eliza that I just told you about with the indigo crops, not indigo crops, first wife died. 5 months later, he married the one I just told you about. So the first wife, named Eliza, also has a maiden name that starts with the letter L. I'm not going to tell you what those two things are. So that's the way your two devices.
What's the letters I'm looking for?
ELP.
ELP?
Yep, ELP in that order.
This is playing like a commercial.
Perfect. What's the commercial saying?
And this is what they call a central series.
That's a long phrase.
It's like
What is that?
and so you
How about now?
Didn't say that.
It's like saying on the same station.
Didn't say they have.
Let's see, I don't have these buttons memorized yet. There you go. Better? Yeah, that's what it should be. See how that's moving? That stuff's moving right now. Again, that thing's big for me. I'm still learning more about it. I've only used it myself like once or twice. So back to, so your two spirit boxes, we're going to hopefully get the same type of answers out of them. So we're going to use them in conjunction just because I don't have a new set for the new spirit box yet. You're going to be focused on the mansion. So it's not here anymore. So I want you to focus on what happened to the mansion. If you get the what, we will often get the 2 or 3 numbers from the exact date of when that actually happened. So I'm kind of giving you a clue that it was some type of tragedy. So again, if you pick up on anything weird at all, other than just a direct answer to your question, it's okay. Let me know what you guys are hearing, just the same way you've already been doing.
I said God
Oh yeah, so we're gonna be spreading about. I gotta keep Tim with me for just a minute so I can show him how to use that thing a little bit further. The last car already left, so we're gonna stay within the confines of the slot. And
Do I need the same pen? Because that's what
okay, it's up to you. It's your night. So, not one of the kids.
Who's saying
So you don't know what the answers are.
KK?
Anything comes to
No, it's just moving now on. No. I need to stickers. Did you tell him?
Yeah. Said
Over here. You hit it over near here somewhere?
Just so you know, that thing will pick up on shadows too. So if you see like it's got looks almost like a stick figure on the ground, more than likely it's one of our shadows. So it's because it's an absence of light. I know it's very scientific to get into that, but you basically just walk around as slow as you can. So the slower you move, the better it'll be that we'll be able to find something.
Okay.
The reason I was looking back there is because he picked up 3.03.
Yep, and you're on the right path. That's what you guys should be doing. That's the beauty of when we have a team this size is keep the team up with somebody else.
I keep thinking that the signs are a person because it keep making that
You'll
like
get a
thing.
lot more false readings than you'll get good readings.
Yep, you're exactly right with that one. And again, that one will literally pick up on anything that's in front of you. So it's meant to be basically a stationary type camera, but
It's really neat. I've seen that.
it's still fun to play with.
There's one. Bobby, the spot that I would check for you is over in that corner. Bobby, the spot that I would check for you is over in that corner.
Okay. Did you see a stick figure? 2.5. Did you see that? Was that 2.5 exact?
Is it anything under 2.5?
No. 2.5 and like over.
Oh, so 2.5 isn't bad. Bro, there's so much broken glass over here. That's why I told you to check over here.
2.7? When I got close to this light. Well, turning on. I just hit 5. I literally hit 5. I stopped and it said 5. It just hit 1.
Go tell him that I hit 5. Anything in that corner? But why do I have 3 shadows? I have 2 shadows. Why do I have two shadows? Don't do that. That actually scared me.
I don't have to write yours down. Oh, now it's smaller. Yeah. And with yours, do you have anything that's in there with ELP or any other words that spell out? Okay. Again, that one some nights gives me 0 words, other nights it gives me like 30.
You move slow. You gotta move slow, okay?
I know.
I want you to move toward that tree real slow. Take like 2 minutes. Move real slow, point it at that tree, and then turn around, and then come back to it.
I write it down so I can more about comments. Again, I've had that thing for a year and a half.
Brother. Guys are still there.
Alright, what do we got now? Ezra. Yeah, whenever you see people walking by, just kind of lower it. Anybody that doesn't belong to our
Then
group.
I got 4.6.
Okay.
Over by
I'll take that 4.6 only because everything else has been pretty small. But we're still on that 5. Try not to give me anything below that 5. Alright, keep listening. We're going to keep going.
Oh, hey. And I also got something like standing right at that doorway.
Okay, kind of show me the pinpoint of where you think it would have been.
It was like right like on this step.
And you were over here,
I was right there.
so you think it may have been picking up on this? Maybe. So I'll definitely take a look when I watch the video, just so I kind of have an idea of where you think it might have been.
But it was also like tall, so
If it was tall, yeah, I'll definitely brighten it up and see it, make sure it wasn't the pole or the tree across the street. Lots of different things like that. Hey, Nick. Nick. Who's going to something? What did you get? Number?
Her thing just said help.
Say help. Hers says help, and mine says person. Oh, me kiss first.
no, there was something that ran across. Something just ran across. Daddy, did you see anything like right there? I just saw like a flashlight.
Go towards that corner right there. You see this? See that thin piece of metal on top of that column? Walk real slow towards it. Real slow.
That kind of thing. Like, that's pretty much.
Whoa, where's that?
You got anything?
was my shadow. Is that thing there again? Is that thing still there? See what it picks up. But now I won't pick it up. This is hard. Check the trash can last time.
So with the spirit box that we poured,
Check.
it has
Oh, bro, I don't have a single person. Let's do.
Go ahead and hit stop on your camera there, bud. Down here is to hit that record button and to just hold it down at your side. Just literally grab that top handle, but you want to stand over here so you're going down the alleyway. There you go.
Like this?
Memories.
Switch hands.
Yeah,
Turn
I
the
got him.
camera.
I got him. Yeah, like
There
this.
you
Look.
go. You got it now.
I heard memories. No, hold it like that.
Memories.
Hold it like that.
Keep a tally in your brain.
Down the
Remember to hit
alley.
right here.
Facing that way.
All right. So in the
Keep it
event that
facing
other
out.
tours will come through here, just so you guys know, they're going to come out of that ivy wall. Don't get startled, or they'll come in the way that we did. I can't take you all the way through here, so we might get just normal tourists walking all the way through. In the event that that happens, just lower your camera to the ground. We'll let them pass through. All right. So why are we here? By the way, every ghost tour comes here. We have 338 ghost tours here in Charleston. Stop and think about that number for just a minute. Yes, there are that many. Every one of them stops right here. I was going to take this out of my route because every damn ghost tour comes down here. I don't like to tell the same stories everybody else is doing, but this guy follows me around. We're going to be near a place of raised emotion for him from here moving forward. So he is probably always going to be around us. His story's been told for the past 50 years. I'm the first person that comes around where we can actually talk back to him and know exactly what he's saying. So here's how this one goes. You're in Philadelphia Alley, and that's what we call it now. It used to be called Duelers Alley. This is where some of the duels used to occur for the city of Charleston. So dueling was illegal back in the 1700s. They had to find hiding spots, and this just happened to be one of those hiding spots. Here's how the story goes. A doctor moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. See why I'm excited about the phrase brown hair that came through? Your spirit boxes are all slowed down. If you ask what color is a big red barn and you hear Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I don't need all the things around the word red. We just need the word red. So her brown hair is super exciting to me. I'm going to just stop and explain just for a second about the word sister, just because it doesn't normally come up in the story and why I'm excited about that. This doctor's sister published his written work. He was also a poet while he was here in Charleston, and she published his poetry of what he wrote while he was here after he died. So it's a very big deal, the fact that you had sister and she had the word brown right around the same time, because she heard it the minute we walked in here too. So again, I'm not surprised, but I am also very excited because we're finally getting some solid clues. Anyway, back to Dr. Ladd. He moves here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. She just inherited a lot of money from her dead parents. She She has an attorney helping her out with all of this cash flow that she just got. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after her money. So he tells Amanda, get rid of that doctor. He's going to take all your money. So he moves to Charleston to prove that he's not after her money. And on his way into town, he had a coachman that set him up to be robbed and killed. It wasn't a very good start to the doctor's stay here in Charleston. And on his, so somebody was walking by the way, and seeing what was about to happen. The person walking by was named Ralph Isaacs. He has the same initials as where the doctor came from. We were getting the letters RI all the time from our regular spirit boxes like what Kevin's using. So I bought the device that Tim is using to make sure we were getting the exact letters. In the past year that I've had that thing coming down here, I've gotten the letters RI around Ralph's name about 7 or 8 times. So just kind of take that for what it's worth. I don't find it coincidental. Moving on. Ralph tells the doctor, dude, I know this guy, the coachman. He's going to try to kill you. Why don't you just come with me? We'll go to 59 Church Street. I got friends there that'll rent your room. You'll be safe. The doctor come up on the offer. The two gentlemen became friends. Now, the longer the doctor stays here in Charleston, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He's not after Amanda's money. He's making his own. So Amanda gets wind of this from Rhode Island. She's moving down so they could be married. And Dr. Ladd became known as the Whistling Doctor. This is part of the reason why I was going to take this out of my route, because I hate cliches. Every haunted city you will ever visit ever is going to have a cliched whistling ghost. We all have one. This one just happens to be a doctor, but there's a little bit of legitimacy here. We're going to talk about that. So why are we in Jeweler's Alley? Dr. Ladd and Ralph go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. He gets better seats. On their way home from seeing Richard III, they're arguing over the new actress they just saw. Dr. Ladd thought she was great. Ralph didn't. The argument turns into Ralph insulting the doctor's fiance, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island. It got really ugly between the two of them, and they go their separate ways. But Ralph goes to his friends at the newspaper and places an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society kind of stuff. Well, Doc saw that ad in the paper and rebutted with, let's go to Jeweler's Alley. We're going to settle this once and for all. They came down here, back to back, took their 10 paces, they turned, Doc pointed his gun in the air, shot, his one bullet. He didn't want to kill his friend, just needed courage to show up. But Ralph has his one bullet still. He puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. Doc didn't die. He fell to the ground. His friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street. He died 10 days later, November 2nd, 1786, after refusing medical treatment. Two things about that last statement. First thing, it's 1786. Gunshot wounds back then, a lot different than what we know of them now. Secondly, he is a doctor. He probably just thought he had lead poisoning and tried to bleed it out, basically. So obviously he failed because he died. Every ghost tour that comes down here tells their guests to listen for the whistles. We have 3 cameras running plus my voice recorder. If we're going to get a disembodied whistle, more than likely it's going to come up on one of those 4 devices. However, we do have some spirit boxes running right now too, especially one that's recording. I can't tell you how many times I've actually come across the whistling part of a song and the word doctor that shows up immediately from a commercial thereafter. So I don't look for these things. So
Well, you can look for it on my camera because I don't know how to listen.
So, you guys actually look for those because I don't listen to the audio of your cameras. Because, here's the reason why. I used to give all the cameras to the skeptics of the group when my tickets were way cheaper and I could see a lot of skeptics. And I wouldn't tell them that it records audio. And they would say some really nasty shit about me. So I just learned, don't listen to the audio, focus on the visuals that camera actually provides. So I turn it on mute and I watch it in fast forward. So that's the way I can kind of see more anomalies that way. So if you guys come across something in those camera audios, let me know. I'll go back to it, prove it, or debunk it. Listen to it in regular time. But anyway, if you're going to try to listen for these whistles on your own, because remember, I can't take you all the way through. I've been kicked out of here. Use your voice recorders from your phones. Just remember, every local knows the damn story. Anybody walking up and down Cumberland Street or Queen Street, we all throw a whistle down this alley. It's just something we do here in Charleston. So here's how I got kicked out. This is the fun part of the story. Super great to tell when I have a bunch of kids here to give them great ideas.
You're not allowed to own this road right now?
To own it, it's an
No.
alley.
Are you not allowed on it?
Oh, I'm allowed on it. I just can't go all the way through it. Let me
Why?
explain. He hasn't let me explain yet. So here's how it goes. This alley didn't go all the way through the way we came in. There used to be a wall up there. So about halfway between where we're standing and Cumberland Street. The reason why is because this used to be called Cow Alley before it was Dueler's Alley. This is where they kept all the livestock for the city of Charleston. So we're talking like early 1700s. So cows, goats, and chickens are down here, and the reason why I'm telling you that is because those bricks down there are older than the ones we're sitting on. Those are sun-dried bricks from slave children. I used to take my groups all the way through and show them those bricks because there is a handprint from a slave child in one of those bricks and fingerprint swipes in others. And I used to take them down there for a history lesson. There There's nothing paranormal about that brick. That's the last place you're going to find that kid ghost. You guys are getting my point. You already know how I feel about cemeteries. So, November 26th of 2020, took my entire group of 10, same size as you guys, down there, and gonna just point it out and move along like I always do. Well, that group didn't stop, they didn't keep going. They stopped, and they were all huddled around that damn brick, waiting for something to happen with all of the gear. Well, I'm trying to move them along because we're also standing outside the dining room window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I'm trying to be respectful, not realizing we were out of bounds for tours. Well, that new owner of that mansion came out screaming. My daughter, who was on the tour that night, thought it was hysterical and thought it was great that her dad was getting yelled at. And we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't tour on holidays because I worked in upper management for Walmart before I started doing this. You all fight over towels on Thanksgiving. You scarred me for life. I'm not doing Thanksgiving ever again. I called my partner the next day so I could figure out what to do and told him what happened. And he started laughing at me the way my daughter did and said, dude, you're not allowed to go down halfway. You're only allowed to go, or you can't go all the way through. You can only go halfway. You got to reroute your group, man. It's Black Friday. I'm sold out again. I told my group that night, I don't believe in the next story. I would normally, by the way, tell you a pirate story next, but I've been kicked out of there too. We'll talk about that later. But I said, I'm into vampires, not pirates. And basically, before we left the space, somebody with a spirit box heard the name Anne. I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating. The female pirate, Anne Bonnie. So it's kind of like, oh shit, maybe we'll get something. So took them up around the corner and told them what I did know about pirates, which wasn't much because I didn't have any time to research. Somebody else with a spirit box heard the number 300. Don't know what that one means. I wrote it down. We were there on November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonnie's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720. We were there on the exact 300th anniversary of her pirate trial. So it was kind of a no shit moment for some people. I was actually quite pissed off because pirate stories, here's the problem with pirate stories for me. I have a master's degree in creative writing. Whenever I'm researching anything, I need facts and data. Like, pirate stories come from pirate lore. That was written 100 years after the whole name piracy. So I didn't want to do the pirate story because every time you guys found something, I had to read a ton of books to verify one piece of evidence. The problem for me now is I built it up for 4 years and I just got kicked out of there in February, March of this year. They're not allowing tours to go through that area anymore. So I was like, oh shit, what are we going to do? So here's what's going to happen at the next location. We're basically going to take T's camera. I'm going to give you guys the history of what we're going to be doing at that cemetery. And we're going to go up to the gate, and all 3 cameras are going to put their cameras right up to the gate. And we're hopefully going to be able to find what we're looking for, which is an apparition. So in the event that we capture the apparition on T's camera, I want to be able to see what the other 2 cameras were doing to see how it's going to collaborate. Essentially, my theory basically states nothing should happen on those 2 cameras if you get something going on with yours.
It's a
so
rat.
kind of vice versa.
It's a
That's why we use so
fucking
many
rat.
different styles of cameras.
The big ass rat over there. I'm out.
We're in Remy's house, man. He ain't gonna mess with us.
I love every time he sticks this in there, it says 0. Then he puts it over towards me, it's like 5 point something.
Where's your phone?
It's 6
This is what I want.
6.
Where's the phone at? When
My
you're doing
phone?
it. The phone in your hand, is it relatively close when you're doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, then it's coming off the phone. 360 what? 9. 369. Okay. So when we get up and around the corner, I do want you guys listening in. So Nevaeh, that does include you, so you'll listen in until we get up around the corner. I'll give you guys the history. We'll go up to the church a little bit closer, get our footage for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then I'll explain our last location I'll be going to after that. It works completely different than what we've been doing all night long. So cameras, if you want to keep them running, up to you. We're going up and around the corner. But of course, with T's, I'm going to have to change out the battery and light anyway. So yeah, let's get on up out of this location and let's go see what we can do with this cemetery. Oh, Dr. Ladd will be. No, we're not walking through. Yeah, can't go. Can't do it.
Just listen to the story.
That was a bit late. I see things. I don't
Number one spot in Connecticut.
My number one what?
It's the number 1 spot to visit in Connecticut.
To visit?
Yeah, how's to get.
You enjoy Mystic. Beautiful seafood area.
I wish I had Sissy's thing. That sounds fun. Listening to stuff.
Right now.
Eva, how do you know what they're saying?
Ground fire.
Oh, kitty cat. It's a kitty cat. See, it's a kitty cat.
Of course you call it cat.
It's a kitty cat.
You got 22? Dr. Lab is 22. So, I'm excited about that. I don't know what the eyes part of that is. Kevin, you got anything?
It was
Not yet.
right before we turned that last corner.
Like that.
Oh, yeah, it's real.
I'm talking to the ghost.
You're still working?
Nope, shut it off.
Everybody have a seat. Chill out for a few minutes. I'm going to change out camera, lighting, and battery and kind of give you guys the gist because we're waiting our turn on this guy anyway. So, Shelly, what do you got coming out of your word box while we're sitting here waiting?
Tail, form, weak, ready, aria, afterlife,
Young.
budget, intimate, mentor.
And Tim, you got anything coming out of yours?
No.
Nothing.
You know the full alphabet, right?
What?
So you know the full alphabet, right? Not just ABC, you know the rest of it?
It's on the device. If you need it.
No, but can't figure out what it is.
Highway.
So you gotta,
Yeah, I got the whole alphabet in front of me. What do you mean, do I know it? I ain't gotta know it. It's right in front of me. Whoa, what the fuck?
Oh my God, what's up, kitty mama?
Her name's Jackie.
Now you know why the cat is around.
she's just scared too.
No, to get the rat.
Hey, mama.
Highway and what?
Creative writing.
Yeah, that's
What's up, mama?
two bachelors, one in English, one in German. 7 fiction
What's
titles,
up, mama?
2 non-fiction titles.
Show that.
I don't know anything about it. Come on.
Whose flower is this?
Mine.
I'm gonna put the cat.
For me, it was like debunking some religion. I did a lot of research on that. That was years ago.
3, 2, 1. 82.
80s.
Alright, so while we're waiting, here's why we're going to be here. So every ghost tour ends up here. I'm kind of stuck telling you this story for now because I got kicked out of the Antoni Bay across the street. Yeah, it's kind of how it goes. And I don't always like to tell the story. There's a sign up there. Every ghost tour ends up there. It's their big finale, and I always used to just let them have it because it was the one show and tell. And obviously, my show and tell is in your guys' hands. So the sign up there inside that cemetery reads, "There's no ghost here besides the Holy Ghost." They don't want jerks like me with cameras like these to go in there and try to recreate what happens. Here's what happened. 1888, a young lady passed away by the name of Sue Howard Hardy. What are her initials? Spells? Exactly. It's cheesy, it's campy, but we get it all the time. We have 2 devices down here that can actually spell things out for us. So we've seen it. I can't tell you how many times. Anyway, Sue Howard Hardy died 6 days after her stillborn child. Very sad story. Another dead baby. I'm sorry. There's going to be one more tonight.
There's hot.
Charleston Worth. But anyway, 1987, exactly 99 years later, on June 16th, we have a local photographer taking pictures of the cemeteries. He's going to make a beautiful book, and he finds an apparition in one of his photographs. It's 1987. He doesn't have the technology that we have today. He has to send this thing off to Kodak for the younger people under pictures so we can hold them. We can have them on a digital screen. So Kodak can, basically prove
It's real.
the type of camera that he said he took it on, and that the picture was not altered in any way, shape, or form. So now we have the straight apparition, but the apparition is said to be cursed. Females that handle this thing in a digital format, even on a tablet or a phone, are said to have the same symptoms like what we talked about at the beginning of the night, headache, nausea, dizziness. Pregnant females are said to not have a good pregnancy based off of the story of it being a stillborn child. You can see why I don't like telling the damn story. So I am going to show everybody what the damn apparition looks like, but I am going to ask that all of them do not touch the damn tablet. In the event that something actually pops up from evidence where I have to give you a link to be able to verify the information, it will say safe link without the first photo. For a living, guys, this is not a joke to me. All the other tourists go up there and they hand out their tablet and it goes all the way around. Like, if you're on another ghost tour here in town, don't take the damn tablet. Simply take a glance and say, I've seen that before, Nick told me about it, and then move on. So I'm going to show you what this apparition looks like, and then hopefully we can get a deep one as So let me tell you why that's interesting before I go into this photograph. So because I'm looking to get his story out of my route because it is I'm actually looking at another story across the street at the other half of the cemetery. Basically, the story over there is that there is a guy that haunts the place, and he was a slave. And the slave basically saved the church by climbing to the top of the church while it was on fire, and he was taking shingles off to stop the church from burning, or whatever was up there, and basically he heard fire early. Here's the other part of that story. Not only is that behind that, but the whole parable is that there's this story of a girl named Sally, and her friends dared her to go in there looking for this guy. His name was Boney. So she's supposed to go in there, and she's supposed to lay a stab on his
Shelly,
grave.
Shelly,
And
watch out
she
for
and her friends can go find it the next morning. So basically she goes in there.
It's a lizard. It's a lizard.
Very interesting. Here is the apparition. You see that on that website?
I just have.
Hey, bud. You know what that is? It's a big ass cockroach.
I know. Oh, that's a giant cockroach. That's a giant cockroach. I'm gonna get that on footage, bruh. Look at the cockroach. Dang, bruh. Dang.
Not tonight, but it has shown up on that price.
was on the lizard.
I gotta go pull out, guys. I'll go right up.
Look what they did with the column.
Sue's grave is to the left of that cross and one more row towards the back. So obviously you figure, I'm hoping you know that there's a zoom on that camera too. You can zoom right in.
Just point it up and hold it there. Don't move.
Right over top. Yep.
Where
You can
is
zoom right
which
in on
grave?
there. We'll get about 5 to 7 minutes worth of footage here.
Okay.
Kind of listen in on these spirit boxes and see what we can get. And I'll keep tally.
From morning.
Warning or morning?
Morning. Days that he laughed. Yeah, nothing changed. Lady.
We had the word female come here last night. It's pretty vague, but the fact that it's a pattern at this point, you can't ignore it. Do you guys notice the light off to the left, by the way? The church put that there on purpose to try to deter people from taking pictures up here because it causes light flares. But my camera can see all 3 cameras can see right through that.
I'm doing this.
You got this. It's at the perfect angle. So the more still you are, the easier it's going to be able to find something on that camera, just because it has so many layers in there. We get a lot of false positives with this one. Where's the thumb? Oh, this one right there.
Really haven't changed in 1 week. Just another man.
That was a definitive color.
That was
So,
really clear.
That was right here.
so you got to give us more than that.
When I die. It's still like third health. Jump. When I die, jump.
church. We're definitely going to take advantage of how good you are at this with the next location.
I need to sit on something to hold it there for that long.
And that spirit box is actually like, it's more difficult to listen to just because of the way it's set up. Like it's using like weird hertz and frequencies versus the other ones. Like it's not coming through as clear as the one like what Kevin's listening to.
Oh crap!
If anybody's gonna pick it
Try
up,
to-
it's her.
You tried to say the grave was a person.
What was that?
I don't know. It sounded like it said Danielle.
That's exactly what I thought. They were saying,
But that's our stepmom. That's our stepmom's name. That's why it freaked me out so much.
I was picking up
Wendy
something.
helps. Danielle or
I'll be honest, I'm still super excited about the word birthday showing up on Shelly's device. I can't make this stuff up, so when stuff like that happens for real time, oh, it didn't show up tonight.
Be still.
holy food sacrifice. Holy, like spirit.
I got you. I heard.
Back and forth.
Come on, Sue. You gotta give us a little bit more. Be a little bit more specific. Let's talk about you, not the church.
Around here.
Sue, let's go with something specific that we don't normally do. I don't normally ask questions here. Sue, give us your birthday if you want, if you can do that for us. Kevin, have you heard anything? Okay.
Sorrow lies. Ask a question. Like, what happened to you?
Hello. What happened to you?
Why did it happen to you?
Can I see your words right here for just a minute? I just want to go through the list. Because I didn't really get detailed with the check. Because you guys are keeping me on my toes.
Hard for whatever happened.
She had the word food sacrifice earlier.
Did that say dinner? Boy for girl.
But we don't know what the gender of the baby was.
And she had food. Boy or girl.
You got anything
Around
weird
the
going on there?
Around the area. I put around the area about 3 times.
Ask them if they're. Ask them questions like, are you alone?
That's a yes/no question.
Huh?
That's a yes/no question.
It is, but it leads to who's here with you.
A lot of terrifying stuff.
That said Ellie.
Band
So music.
right now.
Possibly. But you have to remember she's from the 1800s. A band back then just could have been a band of people, like a group. Like we would be a band. Doesn't necessarily need to be musicians. Babies.
So maybe there's a group of people in there.
Yeah. Say something. Baby station.
Yeah, meanings to the words was a lot different back then, and there was a lot more.
So far, my thing hasn't picked up anything.
A lot more proper.
Yeah, I was looking for that. Yeah, more proper.
I
Yeah.
was trying to finish the sentence.
Yeah, I appreciate you finishing.
Yes.
Shovel.
Right. Yeah, so we do have that crazy
Become
light.
very dependent on technology.
Does shovel have anything to do with it?
Not really. Writing it down anyway, just because it's very specific.
Willings.
look this way.
We are looking, Sue. We got 3 cameras on you.
Keep documenting.
Hold on. Which way is my
You
sister?
hear what she just said? Keep documenting, and I'm over here writing everything down.
Yeah.
Judging.
Not judging, Sue.
I've gotten, again, I've gotten hello, and then I just got now.
You had the name Ellie earlier. What does that mean to you guys?
It's our cousin.
Still alive?
Edison.
Edison? I'll look up this.
Luke Edison.
But I'll look. What's nice is I actually have the records for the churches. I can go in there and see if there's a Luke Edison that's buried.
Spy.
Sue, we're gonna wrap it up. Can you say goodnight to us?
We'll take you back.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, when's the best time to come talk?
On the anniversary. That's the thing.
Do's and don'ts.
Got holy again. Holy Spirit?
It's like on the sign.
Yep. Maybe.
Alright, I think we got enough footage. Go ahead and hit stop on those cameras. I'm gonna pull this off this corner so another come through. We're gonna ask for it. So you'll know what all these things mean. Basically, Dr. Light's code word is the word purple. And if the Dr. Light is here, just let me know that you're here by using your code word, and you